Well, first I want to say rest in peace, Queen Elizabeth, the whatever, I don't know if it's the third, fourth, fifth, sixth. That sucks. Um, she has a lot of controversy as well as a lot of, um, I don't know, people respecting her and stuff. I've heard so many different stories about the Queen. I just leave it alone. She did the best she could, and she did well, and okay. So, with her passing away, now it's such an weird thing is that I finally put it all together when it comes to viruses. Because I have, like, again, I've written like 40 pages in one day. I've written so much about viruses. I've written so much about antibiotics. I've written so much about everything. And with all of that, that's just information that needs to be then condensed and compiled. It needs to be reduced down to its most common denominator. And so when I figured out that antibiotics are the root of all plagues and pandemics, and then you're like, well, isn't it a virus? Well, yeah, where do you think viruses come from? It comes from antibiotics. Antibiotics attacks you, your body goes into defense mode, you spit out a protein called your immune system. That's basically a negative. It's going to go and attack a positive. That person then has to go and deal with that negative, and it commandeers, or your body produces defenses and you spit it out, or it goes in and incubates and replicates and then attacks you from the inside. And so your immune system proteins are the virus and the catalyst, and is what is unique. Antibiotics are the catalyst to develop proteins as a protection that gets transferred from human to human and to animals. That is what a virus is. It's genetic information, and it could be unique to you. So if I get genetic information from someone that's in another country that I've never been exposed to, yeah, I'll feel stuff, but I don't even have to go to another country. I can just go to another person's house and they have unique genetic information because they were recently therapized by so many different things, or they taken an antibiotic that changed their DNA. They're spitting out their defense systems, antibodies. I'm taking it on. I have to go and spit it out yet again, or my body assimilates to it. And so that's how then people are, well, that's how humans either upgrade, or that's how humans pass away. Okay? And so viruses are what runs the cells and records the programming of information, and then your body responds. And so you either have a strong defense system in a strong body, or your body will succumb to the programming of other people's immunotherapies attacking you at the micro level. Why do people die from viral exposure? They hold so many antibodies within. It's like a July 4th fireworks. Because if you're not releasing at the level that you should, and if you are releasing so much because you're taking aggressive elements, then you're curing yourself. And so those little antibodies are still inside of you. And then when they keep replicating at some point, because they will, and so when another virus comes in that's even stronger than the last one, it wakes everything up, then you have a July 4th fireworks. So you have a deluge of energy. It's like everybody talking at once. You can't even hear what's being said, and you can't handle the energy. And that's why people pass away. But it is a chipping away, first wave, second wave, third wave, fourth wave. In all, not even just the holistic market or allopathic market with all their different immunotherapies, but also the holistic industry. Your friends are selling you all your essential oils and your tinctures, all your naturopathics and homeopathics and osteopathics and allopathics and your lay MLMers that are selling you all your little fucking supplements and stuff. They are adding to the pandemic. They are changing your DNA, and then your body's defending itself against all that shit, all the different turmeric and honey and apple cider vinegar. Then you must adapt to it. And if your body is weak, because it is, and you have a weak immune system, a weak body, then you will be attacked internally, and then it'll just be a matter of time before that one protein, call it a virus, whatever you want to call it, from that strong antibiotic will rule them all, and bam, it'll be like carpet bombing, and you won't survive. And so now I have like all these pages of writing about viruses and antibiotics and going off on all these fucking tangents. And I'm like, holy shit, this is just a fucking paragraph. I mean, I might say a little bit of stuff like, well, I mean, when you talk about positive and negative, and you have a positive, okay, so you have like your body's probiotic, you bring in an antibiotic like breathing in somebody's spittle or whatever. It's not all like, it's not going to overwhelm you. If you get overwhelmed by an antibiotic, it's like going into a gas chamber and staying in there indefinitely. You'll die from that exposure in pure antibiotics. But when you're getting a little bit of antibiotics, or a lot but not enough to overwhelm you, then you start replicating proteins as protection. Those proteins agglutinate and they turn into the monster. But some people have enough release process, like when you go into a gas chamber or you get tear gas poured on you and you're mucusing up, that's your body's release process. But then people are taking the medicines to stop the release process. They're taking their Mucinex, they're taking their elderberry syrup, they're taking their Imodium AD, they're taking all their deodorants so they can stop up their lymph nodes. And so they're holding these things inside that when they do get organized, then you don't have really a return. You don't come back from that. and so there you fucking go. And then you look back in history, and since Imhotep and all the different antibiotics he used, and he was only 20 years old, he's a child, okay? And then everyone that studied all the ancients, the Rosicrucians, the Christian Gnostics, the Hermetics, and the Jewish mystics, they figured out how to utilize that. And of course, people dying and reproducing don't have a long memory because they're not teaching their kids anything new because they haven't studied anything new. They just were told to study one thing and they don't know the bigger picture because they've been compartmentalized. So it's easy to have a ruling class that shared the esoteric knowledge, like the Queen, God bless her soul. And then so now you have the bourgeois that are given a little bit of information. And then you have the proletariat that don't know anything, but they know something's wrong, but they can't figure out what it is, and so they rebel, and it's the same old history, rising and falling of civilizations, rising and falling. And so from Imhotep all the way up to this point, then you see all the pandemics from this point all the way to Imhotep, and you see all the intelligence that come out of those pandemics because the petri dish gets cleaned up. But it's from all the antibiotics, all the holistic remedies, from all the witches, warlocks, and wizards that are in all of the politics, religion, science, playing with their alchemy. Disney should tell you all about that. So holy shit. Welcome to the new world. Bye.